When you're young, you believe time is endless. You think happiness will come when you finally reach your goals, the perfect job, the perfect body, the perfect love. But as the years pass, something shifts. You start to see that the real battle was never against the world, it was always within yourself. By the age of 45, life begins to reveal its quiet truths. You learn that control is an illusion, that peace is more valuable than praise, and that not everyone who walks beside you is meant to stay forever. The noise of ambition fades, and what remains is something deeper, clarity. This is where Stoicism speaks to the soul. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all taught that wisdom is not about escaping life's storms, but learning to stand calm within them. Because in the end, your greatest power isn't to control events, it's to control your response to them. In this video, we'll explore the timeless Stoic lessons that only truly make sense once you've lived long enough to understand them. Lesson 1, The Illusion of Control. One of the hardest truths you'll understand by midlife is that most of what you try to control was never yours to command. You can't control how others think of you, how the world changes, or even how tomorrow unfolds. Yet we spend our youth fighting the wind, angry when things don't go our way, chasing people who have already walked away. Epictetus once said, "Some things are up to us, and some are not." That single sentence can free you from a lifetime of frustration. You are responsible for your actions, your choices, your attitude, nothing more. The Stoics didn't seek control over life, they sought control over themselves. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he wrote each night to remind himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you stop demanding that life obey your plans, something miraculous happens, peace returns. You begin to flow with the world, not against it. That's when wisdom begins. Lesson 2, Time is the real wealth. In your 20s, you trade time for money. In your 30s, you trade energy for success. But by 45, you finally see the truth, time is the only currency that never returns once spent. The Stoics warned us long ago, we guard our money jealously, yet we waste our hours as if they were infinite. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short life, but that we waste much of it." Every scroll, every argument, every regret, it all consumes the one thing you can never earn back. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you. To remind you that every sunrise is borrowed, and every conversation could be your last chance to show kindness. The wise don't count their years. They make each day count. Lesson 3, Emotional detachment brings peace. There comes a time when you stop reacting to every word, every opinion, every disappointment. Not because you don't care, but because you finally understand that peace is more valuable than proving a point. In your youth, emotions rule you. Anger, jealousy, pride, they rise like storms and drag you wherever they please. But with age, you start to see how much energy is wasted on things that don't matter. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The Stoic doesn't suppress emotions, he observes them without becoming their slave. He breathes before responding. He listens before judging. True detachment isn't coldness, it's freedom. When you stop letting others control your inner world, you become unshakable. And that's when silence becomes your greatest strength. Lesson 4, The Value of Simplicity. The older you get, the more you realize that life doesn't get richer by adding more, it gets lighter by needing less. When you're young, you chase possessions, recognition, and noise. But by 45, you start to crave peace, silence, and space to breathe. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Simplicity isn't about poverty, it's about clarity. It's choosing to live with what nourishes the soul instead of what feeds the ego. You no longer need 10 friends to feel loved, or constant validation to feel seen. You learn that joy hides in small moments, a morning walk, a cup of tea, a calm mind. The Stoics taught that freedom begins when desire ends. When you stop chasing what you don't need, you finally see what truly matters. Lesson 5, Pain teaches better than comfort. No one wants to suffer, yet pain has always been life's most honest teacher. Comfort whispers lies, that things will stay the same, that you're in control, that you've already grown enough. But pain strips away illusion. It's during heartbreak, loss, and failure that your real character is forged. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Pain doesn't destroy the wise, it refines them. When you suffer, you see who your friends truly are. You discover what you can endure, and what truly matters. Every scar becomes a chapter of strength. So don't curse your hardships. Face them. Learn from them. Because comfort may keep you safe, but only pain can make you wise. Lesson 6, People come and go. By the time you reach midlife, you've learned one of the hardest lessons of all: not everyone is meant to stay. Friends drift away, lovers change, family members pass on, and you begin to understand that impermanence is the rule, not the exception. At first, it hurts. You wonder what you did wrong. But with time, you realize that people are like chapters, some short, some long, all meaningful. The Stoics accepted this with grace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we love is on the verge of being taken from us, not because life is cruel, but because it's natural." So you stop clinging. You start appreciating. You learn to love fully, without the fear of losing. Because what truly stays is not the person, but the lesson they left behind. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Lesson 7, Self-mastery is freedom. The greatest victory is not over others, it's over yourself. By 45, you begin to see that discipline, patience, and emotional control create a peace no wealth can buy. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And that's the essence of Stoicism, freedom through self-control. You can't rule the world, but you can rule your mind. You can't silence others, but you can choose not to be disturbed by their noise. The person who reacts to every insult is still a slave to anger. The one who chases every pleasure is still a prisoner of desire. True freedom begins when your emotions serve you, not the other way around. Master yourself, your habits, your thoughts, your impulses, and you'll realize. You were never meant to control the world, only your response to it. Lesson 8, Gratitude and Perspective. With time, you learn that happiness was never hidden in the things you chased, it was always in the way you looked at them. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here. Seneca wrote, "He who has little and is content is rich." The Stoics understood that perspective shapes reality. Two people can face the same struggle, one sees tragedy, the other sees a lesson. The difference is not in the world, but in the mind. When you wake up and breathe, you already have more than many will ever know. When you can love, think, and grow, you are wealthy beyond measure. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain, it means recognizing beauty even within it. That's how Stoicism transforms suffering into strength, through the quiet power of perspective. Conclusion plus call to action. By the time you reach 45, you begin to see that life was never about winning, it was about understanding. You realize that peace is greater than pride, wisdom is deeper than wealth, and love is stronger when it asks for nothing in return. The Stoics never promised an easy life, they promised a meaningful one. To live with virtue. To accept what you cannot control. To rise each day with courage, gratitude, and calm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That is the true victory, to live fully, no matter what life brings. Now ask yourself, which of these lessons spoke to you the most? Share it below. Because wisdom grows when it's shared, and peace spreads when it's practiced. If Stoicism helps you find balance in a chaotic world, subscribe and join our growing Empire of Stoicism, where ancient wisdom meets the modern soul.